The ATC250R was no joke. It was the machine to have, and in the 80s, if you were going to break bones, this was the coolest way to do it. The 1983 model was no exception, with Dirt Wheels magazine claiming it was three-wheel perfection, with some upgrades to the motor and huge changes to the suspension and handling from the 82 model. As you can see here with their claim of over 8 inches of travel from the new ProLink setup. It's pretty likely if you're watching this video you know these bikes, but if you don't, the ATC250R was the most famous trike ever made. It had a 252 stroke motor, pretty similar to the CR250 motocross bike, and these things were pretty much made to race on sand dunes and loose ground with their big balloon tyres, which as you can see were available back then for 65 bucks each. I wish that was still the case. In 1986 though, the government officially banned production and sale of any more of these, with too many injuries occurring from their violent power, back wheel tendencies, and the general nature of a three-wheeled machine. As you can see, you could pretty much buy anything for these, up to and including an $850 Mugen kit to double its horsepower at another half of the bike's brand new cost. But at a bottom line, Dirt Wheels Mag says the ultimate three-wheeler is only available in red. Due to my budget constraints and love of all things shit though, I've bought one that no longer has any of these qualities, doesn't run yet, and is completely knackered. In this vid, hopefully I can get it running before I start accumulating some parts to bring this steaming pile of crap back to its former glory. Stay tuned guys and enjoy the vid. Alright, the time has come for this thing. Every other project I've got is at a standstill waiting for parts. I've got probably 30 chainsaws inside the shed waiting for parts. The KDX is waiting for parts. Waiting for a new piston ring for the girly mini bike. Even everything in there is just waiting on parts. I'm at a standstill. So it is time to get something else running. Make some noise. The car even. Waiting for parts for it. So we are going to dig into this, which has been sitting behind the shed for probably 6 months, maybe more now. This is a 1983 ATC250R, so it has pretty much the CR250 motor in it, motocross motor, in a trike frame. These were notorious for being dangerous, doing wheelies, riding through the desert in America, that kind of thing. But today we're just going to try and get this one running so I can look and see what parts I need. Obviously, brakes I have absolutely none of. The back brakes are seized and the front brakes are absent. There is heaps and heaps of stuff missing on this thing, so I'll have to go through, order some parts, and go from there with it. But yeah, we're just going to see if we can get this thing to run, get it to move, and do a bit of a stock take, order some more parts, and get it waiting for all its stuff before we dig into some other stuff. So first things first, going to get those Victors out of the way, move this around the front of the shed, give it a sniff of fuel through the airbox. I'll take the seat and the air cleaner off, and see if we get some fire. Of course, it's a Honda, so it'll run. And we'll go put some fuel in the tank and see how well it runs, and or if at all actually, but we'll see. Let's get into it. didn't think we were quite done yet, did you? This thing runs, but it runs like an absolute sack of shit. Excuse my language. But I think I know why, and you might see that there. That is not a gasket at the bottom of that cylinder. That is 3mm aluminium. So I don't know why someone might have put a cylinder spacer, I guess you could say, on the bottom there. It has got a gasket on it, but I don't know why you'd put a spacer down there. So I'm guessing the port timing's all wrong. Compression's going to be way low. But yeah, that port timing's probably why it's spluttering and farting and just has no power band at all. So I'm going to rip the head off, rip the cylinder off real quick, take that spacer out and just plonk it all back down. Obviously it's not going to run perfect because the tune's going to be way off. It's probably going to have air leaks everywhere, but I'll try and get it going good enough that I can actually see this motor kind of half run. And then we'll take it all back apart again and do it properly. Paint the thing, do it all right, get rid of all this bodgy work that's been done, put it back to original, or at least something that's fairly nice, and go from there. So let's rip this apart and see. Well, that's a much shorter video than I expected it would be, but it does kind of run. It starts, it runs, it kind of moves under its own power. I did take it for a little short ride and it is hopelessly tuned, like it's absolutely gutless. Barely moves, but that's probably a good thing considering I have no brakes and the clutch plates are all stuck together. So I have no clutch either. It is very loud with that exhaust. It leaks everywhere. So it was probably as successful as everything I do on the channel, if you've watched any of my other stuff. But this ATC has followed me around for, it would have been 3 years now. That footage was, or when I'm editing it now, that was 2.5 years ago. So it followed me out of mum and dad's house, and I'm now in my, I guess you could call it, third house. This is the first house I've owned. I've got plastics for it, brand new, sitting right here in the study where I'm recording these voiceovers and editing all this old footage, and it is sitting out the back waiting for the shed to be finished. I do have plans to restore it, and I really hope I can. Hopefully sometime soon, but be sure to like the video and support the video if you want to see that, because it does push me to do it just that little bit more. So yeah, hopefully I can dig into it, rebuild the motor, get it all looking really nice, back to original, and yeah, it would just be such an awesome little piece if I can get to that sometime soon. So thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again when this thing's done.